What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, and I'm getting someone into D&D for the first time. This is new for her, not new for me, but I think we're gonna have a good time. I got my good friend, someone I love dearly, Brit Inez. How are you today?
I'm Gucci. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Nervous. I'm a little nervous, if I got to be
Really?
honest.
What are you nervous about?
Yeah, because well, you know this, like the whole D&D world, like it's just such a big thing, and it just seems so complicated. I really hope I don't fuck it up. I just don't want to fuck it up.
You know what's great about D&D?
What's up?
It's impossible to fuck it up.
I don't know. I don't know. I've done some shit before, so we're gonna see how this goes.
It's
So I'm a little
impossible to fuck it
intimidated
up.
because this is not my world. This is your world, but I'm
You
looking
don't have to
forward to
be,
it.
because
Okay.
I'll ask you this,
Okay.
since we're bringing it up, what do you know about Dungeons and Dragons?
I know the games are like hours long. I know people are like really serious about it. Like they are in it to win it. It's like a whole subculture of people around D&D. Um I know you can play as like different characters, and I know that certain characters can have certain powers and do different things.
Hmm.
Then I know there's like a dungeon master who like creates things. I know there's campaigns. Um and that's about all that I know.
Okay, let me tell you a bit.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D, as a lot of people like to call it, and as I tend to say, it's a collaborative storytelling game where players use their imagination and creativity and you know problem solving skills to navigate a fantastical world. In the most basic sense, that's what Dungeons and Dragons is. Hence why I say it's impossible to fuck it up.
Okay. All right, I feel better.
Because here's the thing, even if you do things wrong, it just helps form the story. Because that's the whole goal, is collaborative storytelling.
Okay. So me doing things like however I want to do them helps better tell the story. So there's no like right or wrong ending to the story.
No, not at all.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all part of it. We're collaborating to tell a story. Um, in most instances, when I'm playing now, I'm usually the dungeon master because you've known me for a long time. Storytelling is my jam. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what I love to do, and it allows me to help craft the story and help guide people in crafting this story along with me. Um,
Mhm.
it's usually played in a group. It's not what we're doing today because I'm just kind of showing you how it works in general. But it's usually played in a group, usually like 3 to 7 people or so. Four is typically the sweet spot. I'm okay with five. Right now, I have a group of six that I'm playing with, and it can get frustrating sometimes to balance things, but not to worry about that. There's different types of characters. There's you could be like the brave warrior, strong knight, kind of person, or you can be, the sneaking, cunning rogue, or you can be, the incredibly intelligent and wise wizard. There's all kinds of things. Different characters are good at different things, and that's the whole point of having a group together because you as one person in life are not good at everything,
Right, facts.
but you work together with people who are good at things that you're not good at, and you're able to accomplish more. And that's the whole point. So people play different types of characters who are better at different types of things. They come together and they accomplish goals together. And the good thing about it, even if they fail, we've still told a story together and we can continue.
Okay.
There's no way to win Dungeons and Dragons. You don't win Dungeons and Dragons. It's
Oh.
not that kind of game. It's about the story. It's
So
all about the story.
so like I guess for me, like what I don't understand, I know I learned it tonight, kinda. But like if there's no winner, like how does the game end? Like at what point do you just get to a point you're just like, okay, it's been 3 hours, we're done now. Like how does it come to completion where you end like a session that you're playing?
Usually I'll end the session at a strong story beat. Um, but in other times, because it's usually when I'm playing with the group that I play with regularly, it's an ongoing thing. So it's not like we play for 3 hours and that's the end of the story. We're done. We sit down and you start with a character, like with the group I'm in. I started them with a level 1 character. And we continue to tell the story as time goes on, week after week after week. The character grows, the character gets stronger. them as a group, they learn more things. They learn how to work together better. They're able to take on stronger enemies at certain points and solve more complex problems, things of that nature. And the game caps at level 20. So you're constantly getting better, getting stronger, learning new things. And basically, when the story ends is when you end that campaign, and then you can start a new one.
So each week that people come back, you pick up from where you left off.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just keep going. So like when you get to level 20, like is everyone progressing at the same rate together? Yes. So like everyone who's playing like okay.
Yeah.
So it's
what I tend to do. It's something I do in my games though, but every time the group levels up, I hit this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. Oh,
I'm sorry, I was kidding. That's my song.
No, it's cool. You supposed to, and that's how people feel. They get excited because they level up, because they get stronger. Yeah. Like if they're a spellcaster, they get to learn new spells. You know, sometimes they get to learn stronger spells. If they're not the spellcaster, they get to learn different types of maneuvers with their fighting and all that kind of stuff. It's great. So very few things are as exciting as leveling up in Dungeons and Dragons. You know, accomplishing something really cool during the game is pretty exciting as well, when you're like, I want to try this. And it all comes down to a dice roll, whether or not I'm able to do it. And it's, you know, it's a lot riding on this roll, and they roll the dice and it comes up good for them. And it's like, everybody's happy. Everybody's celebrating because, you know, my homie just did something great, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm excited for them too, because it's just like, I enjoy seeing them accomplish things. So it's a great time.
Dope. So we're starting. I know I'll be at like at level 1 tonight. So
yeah.
Do you stay in the same level like each game, or do you like each game like you start and then the next game you're in level 2? Like, does it automatically happen like that?
No.
Or does it? Okay.
I use what's called milestone leveling, which basically once you hit a certain point in the story, I level everybody up.
Okay.
There are other dungeon masters that use the experience point system, where every like enemy you defeat is worth a certain amount of experience points, and once you get to the amount of experience points you need, you level them up. I think that's restrictive, which like encourages people to always solve problems with battle, and I don't think that's necessary in everything. Because if you are able to accomplish something, like there's a big group of goblins or something that you come up against, if you're able to outsmart them and accomplish your goal without having to kill them all, I don't think you should be punished for that. Like, I think you should still be rewarded. So for me, it's not experience points. I do milestone. Basically, when you hit a certain part of the story, I level you up.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
That explains it.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I can tell you what Dungeons and Dragons is all day, every day, but it's really the kind of thing you got to experience for yourself.
Yeah.
It's all, determined by dice rolls. We made sure you had some dice to use for yourself. You got one set of dice right now. If you really get into this, one set of dice is not going to be enough. You're going to want more sets of dice, because oftentimes you see there's different types of dice. There's a 20-sided dice, there's 8-sided dice, 10-sided dice, 6-sided dice. The 6-sided is probably the one you're most familiar with. But there are certain things that require you to roll multiples of certain dice. However, we probably won't get into much of that today, so it won't really matter. But it's good to have multiple types of dice. You get different colors of dice and all that kind of stuff, so it's fun. Like, I have all these right here, and these are not even all my dice. But this is what I have right here ready for me right now that I use more regularly. I have so many more back here on this shelf that I just won't pull out. And there's plenty of times that we go places and I see dice, I'm like, oh, those are really cool. Like, I want those. And I have to get told I can't buy more dice right now because I just bought like 3 sets of dice last week. So it's, it can become a thing, Because there's people out there who referred to as dice goblins, and they're just constantly just getting more and more dice.
Got you. So are there like limited edition dice where like do you have any like really cool limited edition dice where there's only like a certain amount of people in the world that have the same set that you do?
I don't have any of those, but I've seen them and I've wanted them, and I've had to stop myself from buying them before.
Noted. Your birthday is coming up. Okay, I got it. Always looking for ideas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did a little talking, and we're like helping decide what we're gonna do with you, what kind of character you want to play. We did a whole little questionnaire thing to help you figure it out, and we created a rogue for you. Let me pull it up here for you to see. Well, while I'm finding this, I'll tell you a bit about your character. Like I said, you're a rogue. Rogues are meant to be the more finesse type of characters, the more sneaky type. You're, very dexterous. You're, you're very charismatic as well. So you're good at, sneaking around places. But if you get caught, you can probably talk your way out of it. The main thing that you're going to be needing, that you'll be using, is that 20-sided dice. That is the most important dice in the game. That's how you do all your main checks to decide if you hit something or miss something, to see if you accomplish something or not. We're rolling the 20-sided dice, or the D20.
Okay.
So yeah, we created this rogue for you. If you wanted to just kind of get a picture in your head as to what you look like, we did a little quick AI generated thing here just to use for this specific case. Just give you a little idea of what you look like there.
Oh, she bad.
So whenever you're picturing yourself during this little demonstration we're doing right now, you want to kind of see, this is what you're looking like. This is who you are.
I fucks with it.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you through a little quick run through, kind of a short adventure here. Shouldn't take long at all, but it'll give you an idea of how this game works, kind of introduce, what's known as the 3 pillars of play, being role play, combat, exploration. What it's all about is those 3 things. Okay.
All right.
I think I'll kind of set the mood here. All right. You ready?
Ready.
So you are, a young adventurer. Just starting out, getting out there as an adventurer in the world. A mysterious noble has hired you to deliver supplies to a small village on the other side of the Whispering Woods. The Whispering Woods, you've heard of them before. And near this town is an old mysterious tower. You're also supposed to deliver this small locked wooden chest to that tower. You're getting paid pretty generously for it. It's more money than you've ever seen so far in your life. But you're told, 1, you don't open that chest no matter what. And also it is of the utmost importance that you deliver this chest. So, this is your first real job as an adventurer. It seems real straightforward, but the Whispering Woods are known for being, strange and sometimes dangerous. But still, the promise of all this gold and the chance to prove yourself is just way too good to pass up. So your objective right now really is just to deliver the supplies to this town on the other side of the woods and deliver this chest to that tower.
And I can't open it.
You've been told not to open it.
Got it. Okay.
Again, you can do whatever you want. So if you choose to, decide if you're going to open it, you can give it a shot. That's the whole point of D&D. You can do what you want to do, but you were told not to open it.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So you're riding along. You're driving a little cart, 1 horse cart, got supplies in the back of the cart, and the chest is in the back of the cart.
Okay.
Not long after you've been traveling, maybe about a couple hours or so, suddenly you hear a noise and 2 arrows just come into the cart. What are you doing?
Is it day or night?
Daytime.
Daytime.
Mid-afternoon.
Okay. 2 arrows come into the cart. Did it hit my horse?
Nope, just hit the cart.
I'm whipping the horse. We rolling through.
Okay. So you taking off.
Yeah.
At this point, because you're trying to get the horse to do something, I would have you make what's called an animal handling check. Okay?
Okay.
Now, animal handling is a stat that's based on your wisdom. Okay? So you're going to roll that d20, and your animal handling I have your character sheet here. I didn't show it to you because I don't want you worried about all that right now. So you're going to roll the 20-sided dice, and you're going to add what's called the modifier onto that. The modifier for your animal handling is +1. So you roll the dice, you take what you roll, and add 1 to it.
Okay, that would be 13.
Okay, so yeah, this horse is used to being used for this purpose and knows if you whip it, I got to take off. So the difficulty wasn't high for this. So 13 was enough. You whip it, he takes off. More arrows come shooting at you, and as you take off, there are 2 figures in the road ahead of you.
Okay.
What do?
What weapons do I have? Like, what do I have? Do I have like I have a gun? Do I have a crossbow? Like, what do I? What are we working with?
Right.
I got questions. Yeah.
As a rogue, you got a couple of daggers.
Okay.
You have a short sword, and you have a bow.
Bow and arrow. How many arrows do I have? I don't know how many arrows come in a set, but I'm just curious.
I know, it's a good question. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll to figure it out. You have 13 arrows.
Oh, I'm shooting.
You're shooting? Okay.
Well, wait. So the arrows are coming, and then these 2 figures are just standing like ahead on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Did they shoot the arrows? Do we know that? Can you tell me that or no? Like, you can't tell me that? I can tell you. We can make some checks to try to see if you can figure it out. See, that's the whole point of this. Okay.
So first, I'd say make a perception check to kind of see if you can kind of tell anything about the people in front of you at all, kind of see who they are or anything. So this is another stat that's based on your wisdom, but you are proficient in perception, so you actually have a +3. So roll the d20 and add 3.
Yo, I don't know if this is a 6 or a 9. How do I know? Like, I literally...
Looks like there should be a line or a dot or something kind of indicated.
There's a dot by the circle part of it. So does that mean it's the 6?
That's a 6, yeah.
Okay, so 9.
You're having a hard time telling what's in front of you. Don't really know.
I should have said 9. Okay.
No. It's all part of it.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going because they might be trying to warn me, like, hey, it's some shit back there. You gotta be careful. You gotta turn around. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna shoot them yet.
Okay. So you still same pace?
We're gonna slow up a little bit.
You slowing up?
We're gonna slow up a little bit.
Okay. So you're getting a little closer.
Okay.
You probably get about 20 feet away from them. They draw back their hoods. You see they're pretty small. And you see these green faces, pointy ears, sharp teeth. They're looking a little haggard. And they look up at you and they're like, you should stop here.
I mean, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna be like, okay, I see you, little gremlin dude, but I'm gonna get this bag and I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. So you continue. They're not moving though. You gonna run them over?
They're little, right? Like they're smaller than a horse?
Yeah, they're maybe
like
about
little...
the same size as you. I forgot to mention you're what's known as a halfling. Halflings are smaller than most people, probably around like maybe 3.5 feet tall. They're about the same height as you.
Oh, okay. Can I flick them out? I can't flick them out the way.
No.
Uh,
They're not that small.
okay. All right. I got you. I am going. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to. They'll get moved.
Okay. So, I'd say, yeah, you would be making here an intimidation check because you're just basically making them feel like, you want them to be afraid and move out the way. So you roll a d20 here. You would add, for your intimidation, that would be a +3. So roll d20, add 3.
21.
Yeah, they definitely just dive out of the way. They are not trying to get hit. And you continue riding. Nothing else happens there. You continue for a bit longer. And about an hour later, you come across a tree is fallen on the road, kind of blocking the path. What do you do?
Is it like it's blocking the road? I mean, I got that cart behind me too, right? So we can't just hop it. I mean, I would. Is she strong? Like, is she pretty? I know she's 3.5 feet tall, but I mean, is she pretty? Because she got some thick legs, so she could like squat and like pick the cart up. Like, I'm just trying to see, like,
you can certainly try. I'd tell you, it'll be an athletics check. Her athletics modifier is +0, so you have nothing added on to that. You don't subtract anything from it, but you don't add anything onto it.
Okay. So let me see. I can't let this tree stop me. So we're gonna try. We don't have to get around this tree. So I'll probably have a horse go over the tree first, and then I go in the back and I like try and like squat the cart up and like get it over the tree.
Try to push. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I do like a lift push thing to kind of get it over. Like I'm gonna get. Yeah.
Okay. So you want the horse to kind of go over and kind of stop and wait for you to get behind the cart and push.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
So that'd be another animal handling check from you. So remember, your animal handling is a +1.
Mm-hmm. So roll the 21 again.
Yep. Roll the d20 and add 1.
9.
Okay. So horse gets there and he kind of steps a little bit on the branch and he's like, "You're not going. He's like, "Nah, this ain't the move. He not doing it."
Okay. So the tree is not like, because trees have like a finite length to them. So can I see like where the tree ends?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, can't we just go around that? Can't we just go around the tree? Can't we just like do a little go around it?
You can certainly try.
Okay, we're just gonna go around it.
Okay. So you gotta go off and kind of bit into the woods to do it. This would still another animal handling check.
To go around. So I gotta handle him to not walk in a straight line. This horse is difficult. How do I get an easy horse? Like, are there any easy horses in this? Are all the horses like this?
I mean, you're still handling the horse no matter what you do. So
okay, all right.
There's different levels of difficulty depending on what you're trying to do, but
I don't think I'm asking for much. I'm just asking it to.
So the DC, or the difficulty class shouldn't be that high. What you need to roll shouldn't be that high.
Okay. And you said it's a +1, right, for animal handling? All right, so that will give me 17.
Yeah, you go around this tree with no problem at all.
Okay. Good.
So you have no real issues anymore for the rest of the day. You do know you're going to have to camp for the night because you're not going to make it by the end of the day. So you set up camp for the night. kind of pull the horse to the side, you know, tie him to a tree nearby, set your camping gear up, you know, got a fire going, got your bedroll out. You don't really have a tent because you're just starting out, so you're just going to be sleeping under the stars. As you're kind of getting settled in, you start to hear some strange whispers in the forest. And when you listen a little closer, kind of look around and everything, you kind of notice if you move closer to the chest, the whispers get louder.
Oh, shit.
What do you do? Like the whispers are still coming from out in the forest, out in the woods. They're not coming from the chest. It's just that they get louder if you get closer to the chest.
This sounds like a Hatch situation. I've seen Lost. So I'm gonna have to just go to sleep. Can I take some melatonin and just go to sleep so I ain't gotta like deal with all that? Because we just want to like sleep this off. I don't want no smoke. Literally, I don't want no smoke.
Okay.
So can I just like, you know, be like, okay, just go to sleep. Can I just go to sleep? Is that an option?
Yeah.
Okay.
You definitely can.
Yeah, we're gonna go to sleep.
Okay. So you ignore it. You're just like, yeah, nah. You go to sleep. And as you settle in, you know, getting all nice and snuggled in and everything, you comfy. You drift away. In the middle of the night, you start to hear your horse going crazy. Like all kind of like, you know, you think it was a donkey the way it was braying and neighing and all that kind of shit. And yeah. Wake up, you see that horse is going nuts, and nearby you see another pair of figures there. But they're not looking at you. They're starting to try to grab stuff off the cart.
Oh, they're getting shot with my arrow.
Okay, so you're gonna pull out your bow and shoot at them?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna roll a d20.
Okay.
That's gonna be a +5.
19.
That definitely hits one of them. So take aim and get one of them real solid in the side. Now we're gonna determine how much damage you do when you hit them. So what you're gonna do is, with your short bow, you're gonna roll a d6, so the 6-sided dice, and add 3.
Okay. 6.
That's with the modifier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you shoot this thing real solid, like ah! You hear him just scream out, and he falls to the ground. He's not dead. He's on the ground, like writhing around. And the other one looks up, like, and draws his dagger and grabs his friend. And he's like, "We gotta get out of here. We gotta run. We gotta run." And he grabs him. He starts to pull him away. And they're trying to get away. He's dragging his friend away. What do you do?
Did they get anything off of my cart?
You make a perception check. So you would roll a d20 and add your perception modifier.
Was that a 3?
Yes.
21.
You see, they're not taking anything with them, but they have taken stuff off the cart. Like they were trying to leave with it, but then you shot one of them, and then the other one dropped his shit to grab him and pull him away.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let him go. He can take his little friend and get out.
Okay. Yeah, they try to leave, and they're just limping away, licking their wounds. Like I say, your stuff that you're transporting, a lot of it is on the ground. There's some food items there. There's some, you know, clothing and all that just kind of scattered on the ground because they were trying to take it away.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can like put myself back on the cart, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to roll for that?
No, you just
okay.
Pick everything up. I didn't know if you're gonna pick it up or leave it. That's what I'm saying.
I want my stuff. I want all my stuff. I mean, I know I'm gonna need it for like the, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm gonna get my stuff back on the cart.
Yeah, you pick it all up, put it on, start putting the stuff on the cart, and you know that chest is on the cart too, and those whispers are getting louder and louder. The whispers haven't stopped. They're still going. But you're loading everything onto the cart. The whispers get like definitely loud because you're like right next to the chest now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, listen, is it middle of the night?
Yep.
And the horse is awake? Right, because he just got done letting me know.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have like a lantern or anything like that with me? Like, is it a...
Yeah.
I have all that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, we might as well just roll on through. Can we just start back on the path? Like, is that an option?
You can. That you don't get the benefit of a long rest, but you also would suffer what's called one level of exhaustion. And when you have a level of exhaustion, that gives you disadvantage on ability checks. On ability checks. So basically, you would roll with disadvantage, which means you roll twice and you take the lower roll.
Oh.
If you don't get a full rest, yeah.
So I mean, but we could go back to sleep.
You could.
And then we wouldn't be like, how close are we to the tower? Like, I don't know how close anything
is.
Days
travel.
How many?
About another day's travel. Another day.
Just one full day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot can happen in a day. All right, maybe we should just go back to sleep and just try and like get there.
Okay. So you go back to sleep, kind of get the horse he settles down. You lay back down. So yeah, you're good. Nothing else happens throughout the night. You wake up, bright sunny day, birds chirping, bees buzzing, the whispers have stopped. Gonna continue?
Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Okay. So you continue. And as you're riding along, you come across this large ancient tree that suddenly seems like it turns towards you. And then you hear a voice coming from the tree. Who's like, "Who are you, small one?" What do you do?
I'm Brit Inez. What's up? What's popping? I mean, I don't think that's my name. I don't think that's my name. Is it? Is that my name?
No, I think you called the character Phoenix.
Oh, that's right, Phoenix. I'm Phoenix.
Okay. What is it that you are carrying there? I feel strange power coming from your cargo there.
It's just some items.
What kind of items?
Oh, it's just some items for a friend. They want me to bring them.
Who's your friend?
You wouldn't know him.
I know many things. I'm very old.
I'm sure. But, I got to get going because they want me to get there by a certain time. So we're going to have to go. But it was nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you as well. And I would say, be careful. The power I feel from what you're carrying is something I have not felt in a very long time. Long even for me.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so you're just continuing?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you continue, you go for a couple more hours and you hear this loud screech come from the sky.
Okay.
It seems like it's getting louder and louder, but you haven't seen anything in your travel so far. What are you doing?
It's getting louder, the screech, but I can't see anything.
Well, you haven't seen anything yet is what I'm saying. You can see if you see anything. You can make a perception check.
Can I look up and see what's going on?
Yeah. So that would be a perception check.
All right.
It's +3.
21.
Yeah. You look up and you see what's known as a wyvern. So it's like a dragon, but it doesn't have any front legs. It's just back legs and wings, and it's screeching. It's not that big. It's a small one, but it's screeching, and it's like, what do you do?
Is it like over my head, or is it just like in the sky? Like I can just look up and I can just see it up there. Like where?
It's over your head. It's not like, it's maybe about 20, 25 feet up.
That's kind of close to me. Is it following me, or is it like it's just over my head?
I'd say make an insight check on this. So kind of determine like what it's up to and what it's doing.
Yeah, because if it's just hanging out, like I'm just gonna keep rolling.
It'll be
like,
an insight check for me. So roll a d20 again, and your insight is a +1.
3.
3 total?
Well, 2 + 1.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it wasn't a natural 1. If it's a natural 1, different things happen. But yeah, you having a hard time telling if it's following you or not. You just saw it, not sure what it's up to.
I'm gonna keep going because I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. So you continue, and eventually you realize it is getting a little bit closer, and then suddenly it swoops down at you, but not at you. It swoops down at the cart, and it kind of goes like right towards the chest.
Oh, this thing got to get shot. I know. You know what? I'm gonna throw a dagger at it.
Okay. Switch it up a little bit. So this is also going to be a +5 to throw the dagger. So roll a d20, add 5.
$11.
So you throw the dagger, and it's kind of nimble. So you have a hard time, and it kind of moves out of the way, and you just dagger kind of skirts past it. You don't hit it. So it's at the chest now. It seems like it's trying to pull the chest and try to take it away.
And you said I have 13 arrows. Well, now 12 arrows. I had a dagger, and those are my only weapons. That's it?
Daggers, and you have a short sword.
Can the sword reach it? I just don't know, like, how.
Well, there's from where you are. No, I'd say you wouldn't be able to reach it.
I can't reach with the sword. Can I like get up and like turn around and go and like,
Yeah, I mean,
like, can I like
the horse
stab
first?
it?
You're gonna keep the horse going. What are you doing?
Well, no, we gotta stop because I gotta get this. I gotta make sure this thing ain't stealing my shit off the cart. So
Okay.
we gotta stop the horse so I can go basically kill this thing.
Okay. So yeah, you stop the horse.
Okay.
Hop up. You're gonna like run across the cart. Or you're gonna get off the cart and run around. What are you doing?
Well, I feel like the easiest way to do it would be if I'm behind the horse, I'm gonna get up I'm just gonna climb up on the cart and then just stab it. That's the fastest way to get to it. Can I just climb up and just get to it? Yeah, I'm just gonna climb up and just go to work.
So you're climbing over the cart and kind of moving across all the supplies and stuff. So in order to do that, I'd say you'd be making a dexterity check to make sure you're able to see if you're able to move through it, nimbly and not kind of trip over your own feet and over the different supplies and stuff. Okay. So you roll a d20 and add 3 to that.
17.
Yeah, you get over that with no problem. You got some nimble feet. You're very acrobatic as you kind of move and weave through it. Is there any special way you kind of move across the cart?
Well, yeah, I think she kind of like does like a prowl kind of thing because she doesn't want to fall. And I'm assuming it's like an unstable surface because the supplies are all like different lengths and all that, right? So she's kind of doing like a low kind of crawl with it. But the dagger is like in her hand. So that way, like as she like gets up on it, she can like get her footing and then just like go to work.
Slice. Gotcha. So yeah, and you get right up on it, crawling across, get to it, take a swipe at it again because it's really not trying to fight you. It's really just trying to get this chest. So
yeah,
you do that. So you're using your dagger, you said, or the short sword?
The sword.
Okay. So yeah, that's still a +5. Swing that.
So roll again. Okay. $18.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So you swing that sword, and now once you've hit it, it's going to be D6 and add 3.
Oh, D6 and to see how much damage it did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I remember.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. So you solid swipe across this thing, get a good cut. Where were you aiming for when you swinging the sword?
The chest.
Right across the chest? Yeah. So you get a solid cut right across the chest. He's like, kind of falls back, hits the ground a little bit, looks up at you, and he really don't want no smoke, so he just takes off and flies away.
Okay.
All right. See what you get back on the cart and you keep rolling. What up, Mo?
Yeah, he's going the game. He's gonna roll my next dice for me. Yeah, we're gonna keep on going.
Okay. Well, the rest of your trip goes without incident. You get to the town. You go in to deliver the supplies first. You deliver in the chest first.
Well, is the tower is like past where the supplies and stuff like that are, right?
I'd say yeah, technically,
like
it's like because like you'll reach the town first. It's like adjacent to it, so it's not far from it. But yeah, you'd reach the town first.
But when I leave, I gotta pass by the town to get out of there.
Yeah.
We just gonna go to the tower.
Gonna go straight to the tower? Okay.
Yeah, priorities.
Okay. All right, so you get to this tower. It's not like super tall. Taller than anything you've seen before, but you know, if you think about works of fiction before, like there are taller towers out there. Maybe about 8 to 10 stories tall is what you would guess if you're judging from our standards.
Okay.
Big solid doors at the front, twin doors, solid wood, a little bit of metal on them. What are you doing?
Are they unlocked or are they locked? Do I know?
You
Is that
check.
A perception check?
No, you can. I mean, you can just try.
Can
to
I
open
like
the
physically?
door. Yeah.
I'm gonna trying to open the door.
Okay, it's locked.
It's locked. Okay. Well, I mean, somebody told me to come and deliver this thing, right? Like there was a.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I knock?
Yeah. So you.
All right, I'm not.
Knock on the door. You wait for a bit. Maybe a minute later, the door slowly opens, just, and you see hooded older lady. She opens the door like, "Oh, hey, baby, what can I do for you?"
Hey, I got this chest that somebody here wanted me to bring, so I'm just here to drop it off and get my money.
Oh yes, they told me you were bringing it. Thank you so much. You gonna give it here? And she hand out.
Well, I need to make sure that we get the money. So when do I get the money for the chest?
You get paid upon delivery. You haven't delivered yet.
Okay. Can I see the money?
Oh, I mean, hold on then, if you're gonna be that difficult.
Thank you. We went through a lot to get here, ma'am, and I'm just trying to be respectful because I got some people I got to make sure are good.
In this situation, I'd say make a persuasion check. So you're quite persuasive.
Yeah.
So your persuasion is actually +7. So roll a d20 and add 7 to it.
All right, you gonna roll this one? Okay. I can't see past his head. 16.
Okay. So yeah, she's just like, "All right, baby," and she turns and she goes back inside. And she's gone for a while now. Probably takes you like 5 or 6 minutes before she comes back. You just go outside waiting, just twiddling your thumbs. She finally comes back with a sack in her hand, right about the size of her palm. She's like, "All right, here's the gold."
All right, then I'll give it a chest.
Okay. She, hands you the gold, takes the chest from you. Thank you so much. Did you want to see what was in it?
No, ma'am. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna deliver this stuff to the people in the town, and we gonna get out of here. We gonna get out your hair.
Oh, okay. So she kind of like lifts it open a little bit. You sure?
Yeah, man. I got some plans later on tonight, and I gotta make sure that I make it back. So yeah, I'm sure. I'm positive.
All right then. She closes it back. There was a bright glow that came from the chest when she opened it, like a bright blue glow that came from it. And she slowly closes it back. And she, you take care of yourself now, and I appreciate you. She goes back inside the tower, and the door just slammed shut like super hard. Like it was like she seemed like she struggled to open it before because it was so big, but then when it closed, somehow it just.
Okay. Okay.
So what now?
So now I'm gonna turn around and take the supplies to the town.
Okay. So yeah, you return to the town. You get there. You were told to deliver to a supply house. There's burly gentleman there, thick beard, long shaggy hair, wearing real common clothes, and he's like, "Oh, the supplies are there. Great. Bring them all in here."
Sir, you can get them off the cart.
Oh, I know. Just pull them on this way, and we'll unload them in here.
Okay.
It's a large storehouse, basically the size of a large barn. Doors open on the side, big enough for a cart to fit in.
Okay. So I would just back up enough to where the cart is in there, but my horse and me, we're still outside. Like we're not inside that barn.
Okay. So he walks up to you. Nice to meet you. The name's Shathid.
Sounds like shithead.
He sticks his hand out to shake your hand. Fist bump him. Okay, you're like, oh, all right then. And bumps your fist back. And he turns back. All right, unload it, fellas. And you see, a group of like 3 other men come out, and they just start unloading the cart. Like, I believe I owe you some gold, do I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One moment here, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out another sack, hands it over to you. There you go.
Thank you.
And they finish unloading it. The rest of it goes pretty much as planned. And that's it. You have just gone through your first short adventure of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Now imagine, it's not as complicated as you think. Everything is right there for you on the character sheet. You just didn't see it all because I just didn't want to overwhelm you with that just yet. But it's all right there on the sheet. Normally you're with a group of people, so there's a lot of things that'll help you navigate that. I can actually I'll show you what your character sheet looks like. But it'll I didn't want to throw it at you right now because it can be a bit overwhelming to somebody who's never played before.
No, I appreciate that. So like, how would that? So everyone has their own character sheet, and they can see basically everything that you were telling me. Like, I will be able to see myself.
Yeah. So this is your character sheet. See this little picture right here that we used. All the different checks I told you to make are right here. So, like perception, did that 3 times. It's right here, +3.
Yeah.
If it was the straight up dexterity check I told you to make was right here. You have your basic stats: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. All these are based on this up here.
Okay.
Good way to remember all these things is I use the tomato analogy, basically, to understand how this all works. So strength is your ability to crush a tomato. Dexterity is your ability to dodge a tomato that's thrown at you. Constitution is your ability to eat a rotten tomato and not get sick. Intelligence is understanding that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing that tomatoes don't go in a fruit salad. Charisma is your ability to sell a tomato-based fruit salad.
Okay. That's a really good analogy to
Mm-hmm.
remember all that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then all the different attacking, you're doing the daggers, the +5s here and all that. But everything is right here on the character sheet. But there's a lot of things that go into this. You come up with your own character's backstory, where they came from, what they're doing, and that kind of merges with the other people playing at the same time and how they all interact with each other. And you just play pretend with your friends and roll dice. It's a great time.
It really is one of those things where I don't remember the last time that I vividly imagined like this entire scene, because I had this whole thing playing in my head, like
Mm-hmm.
as you were kind of going through it. And I think that was like the cool part for me, because I don't remember the last thing that forced me to do that.
Yeah. And
Like
it's
ever.
honestly too, just it's we one of the things that we lose as adults is that play, that just play and pretend thing,
Yeah. Yeah,
and it
yeah.
allows you to just play pretend with your friends for a while. And it's great. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to introduce this to you. I hope you had a good
Thank
time.
you. I
And I
did.
hope you may consider playing more in the future and getting into it, because I think you would really enjoy it. Um,
Yeah. I think after this, after just kind of going through it, because I told you I was like, and I've told you for years, like I'm intimidated. I can't do all that. That's too much for me. But
mhm.
after kind of like seeing it, I'm just like, oh, this actually is fun. And it felt like an escape, because you can't
Mhm.
really think about anything else in that moment. And I like things that take you out of just your head. Like, you know what I mean? Because kind of
It's,
like what you're
it's my
saying.
favorite part of every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of things that kind of like take us into a completely imaginary kind of world. Even if you're
Hmm.
watching something on TV, like, right, you're still kind of, but this just kind of did it. So I got a question. So I remember you saying that you do level ups based on milestones. So what would Phoenix have had to accomplish in this game or
Hmm.
campaign to level up? Like, what would she have had to done?
See, as a level 1, I usually get them out of level 1 after the first session. So once you've made that first livery, you've had your first adventure, you're level 2 now. So with that being said,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up.
Okay, sorry, I was dancing.
so yeah. So level 1 to
Oh,
level 2 is
okay.
usually pretty quick. Level 2 probably will take 2 sessions. I like to get people to level 3 pretty quick, because that's when your class, the rogue as you are, start to get interesting, because then you get into the subclass of it, which is like, what kind of rogue are you? Because there are different types of rogues. There's the thief, there's the assassin, there's the soul knife, which is like somebody that kind of like psychic, and kind of use
Mhm.
like they're like you'd have these special daggers that are like psychic daggers that aren't
Yeah.
real. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
an X-Men character called Psylocke, and that's what she used, like these psychic blades and stuff. You can throw those and use those to stab and all that kind of stuff. Then there's the arcane trickster, which is they use different kind of spells to kind of be tricksters, and like use that for thievery and trickery and all that kind of stuff. So there's different types of rogues, and that's when the things start to get interesting for your character. And I try to get them to level 3 as quickly as possible. There's some times where you're tempted to just start at level 3, which I would do for people who've played before. But if you've never played before, I start you at level 1, because it's harder to start at level 3 when you don't really know where you came from to get there. So
Yeah, you wouldn't appreciate it as much, I'm sure.
yeah. So you have a group that you're playing with. Everybody's got their own backstories and everything that I can help you come up with, or you come up with on your own, like how they got to that point where they are this level 1 character. Who are they? Who are their families? What drew them to this? All that. And as a dungeon master, it's kind of my job to kind of move the story along. Sometimes I'm able to implement things from your backstory into the game itself. So it's like, if there's this really important person from your past, kind of throw them into the story so you interact with them throughout the story. And maybe it's like a long lost relative or something that you had, and you meet them along the way, and they're in the middle of some shit and they need some help, and the group can choose to help them or not. And that's the thing. A
Yeah.
lot of this is about choices. Like a lot of times there were other things that like I dangled in front of you. You can either take the bait or not, like
Yeah.
inside that chest. You don't know what it is. It might be useful, it might not be. It might be a hindrance. You don't really know unless you
Yeah.
open it. But if you choose not to, you don't find that out. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. You don't really know. In this situation, I had made it so there was actually a dragon egg inside that chest. But
And what this is that a good thing? I have no idea if that's a good thing, a bad thing, a useful thing. Like
You find out. See, that's the thing. It's just like, you run into her. What she wanted it was these, it was a special dragon egg. That's why it was glowing and all that kind of stuff. Things were attracted to it. So she was going to open it up. You were going to see what it looked like was a giant sapphire, and she would touch it and it would hatch, and it would be this baby dragon, but it looked like its scales were made of sapphire. It's a special dragon,
Ooh, that sounds pretty.
That was why it was so important to make this delivery, and they didn't want you to open it because they didn't want anything to happen to it. So it's just, you may find that stuff out, you might not. Sometimes you open the chest and it's something dangerous, and then you wish you hadn't opened it. So it's just, you never really know.
Got you. But because you are the dungeon master, like you basically create all these different like concepts and all these different like variations of what could happen.
Yeah, and then
basically, right?
And then people do things that I never expected, and then I have to make it up on the fly.
Okay. So there is a level of like improv that goes into it on your end.
Oh,
because there's only so many different. Because I always kind of wonder. I'm like, well, because when you explain it to me, I'm like, how does he know? Like, how many different scenarios can you actually possibly come up with? So I just always kind of felt like,
and it also helps when you've been playing with people that you've been with for a while, you kind of know what their tendencies are, so you can prepare for those things. Like the group I play with now, I know inevitably they're gonna waste their time doing bullshit. It's just what they do. Like the last session, I had things planned out where like we should get right here with no problem, but instead they got drunk in the tavern, and the whole session was their drunken shenanigans in the tavern. Like that was pretty much the whole session.
Sounds like a fun time to me.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. They tried to tie ropes around the drunk people to lead them home. There was somebody was making, get the tavern order to make them grilled cheese, but somebody wanted pickled onions on their grilled cheese, and he didn't like pickled onions, so he didn't want to do it. It was a whole thing. It was all kind of nonsense could happen. It's great. It's a great time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So like, how do people go about finding, because I think that's some of the things like, right, somebody like me, I don't have a lot of people in my world, in my immediate world who do this. So how would I go about finding people that, hey, I want to play with, but you're a newbie too? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you guys find this is an entire subculture I don't know nothing about. So how do y'all go about finding each other?
I found people the first time I played with Dungeons and Dragons groups on Facebook. Like that was how I ended up finding the first group I played with. Okay. Another way though, local game shops. You go there, there's shops dedicated to it anyway. Where you go in there where people play in the shops and everything. There's actually a website called startplayinggames.com where you can actually get into a game where where there's professional dungeon masters and game masters where you can pay to get into a game there. Some games are free there as well, but there's paid ones also that you pay per session to be a part of it. Those are I wouldn't recommend those for beginners or like first time players and all that, because you don't know what to look for. You don't know what a good dungeon master is yet, so you don't know if you're getting your money's worth. Not to say there aren't good ones that you pay, because there are definitely good ones to pay, but you don't know what's a good one and what's not if you've never played before, so you don't know what you're getting with your money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's multiple ways to play. I actually one of my goals is to get more people playing, especially more people that look like us, because we just growing up, it was one of those things like we look at it and it's just like we don't do that, but it's because we didn't know any better. But now I know better, and I want other people to know better too. So I actually started a group on Facebook called How We Roll to get more Black people playing Dungeons and Dragons. And that was one of the things that I did. And my group that I play with right now, everybody is Black.
I love it. I love it.
And you get real different shit when you play with Black people.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, it's a good time though. Like the group I played with originally is very different than the group I have right now. It was the things that people want to do is different. Like even like the way they choose to cast their spells. Like this last group I had, there's a spell called Thunderclap, which is basically you make a thunderous wave that sends a wave forward and kind of like pushes people and all that. Well, this one player decided that her thunder wave was going to be cast by her turning around and making it clap. Like that's just what she did.
That's what came to my head when you said thunderclap.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the kind of thing you can do. You can do whatever you want. Like, it's so great.
Oh, that is okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I'm glad I had you here. I'm glad I was able to introduce you to this. And I hope you
Same.
choose to play more in the future, because my whole thing also is getting to play Dungeons and Dragons with interesting people. So you're up there as far as the one of the most interesting people I know. So I'm glad I got you in here.
Well, I'm happy to be the first. Thank you for having
Mhm.
me. Whatever I can do to help support and get more people involved, let me
Yeah.
know. I
If
am
there's
all for
anybody you
it.
know who you think would have a good time, send them my way. I would enjoy having more people being introduced to this for the first time, and I'd love to be the one to do it.
Say less. I got you.
That's going to be it for this take of D&D for the first time. I'm Lord Cussalot. That's Brit Inez. We'll see y'all next time. Until then, we out.
Peace.